While I was on this girl's hair, this girl came and literally punched me in the face, and this girl was wearing a ring. She hit me on my eyebrow so bad that it literally like opened it a little bit. It swelled up. It was horrible, you guys. So maybe, just maybe, I'll just be me. What is up, J-Lex Familia? So last night at 1 in the morning, I received a message from this girl that I used to be best friends with. I have been basically like going back and forth with myself whether or not I should make this video. I want opinions from like the outside view. Hold up, before we get into this video, I want to let you guys know about this awesome company, and they make the most beautiful bags. It's fluffy! This bag was made with Italian material in the same factories that these high-end luxury brands make their bags. But guess what? This is gonna cost you a fraction of the price. I'm not a careful person. This beautiful bag literally has kept up with Haley the mess. You need to check it out. Like I said, these bags are literally from Italy. What? Yes, and they won't cost you an arm or a leg, so you can rock them. And they have a bunch of beautiful bags, a bunch of colors. Sis, check it out. They're having a 70% off sale right now. And on top of that, use code TBHaley20 for an extra $20 off. What? Kiki, are you listening to this? She loves it. Go check it out. The link is gonna be down in the description. Woo! Let's get back into this video. I'm gonna be telling you this story while I get ready because you guys already know that I have an OnlyFans, and I have you guys already know that I have an OnlyFans. So I'm gonna be getting ready for my pepino al ratito. I'm gonna be getting some pepino loco al rato. We should give her a name. Becky? Okay, Becky. What? Why not Becky?
La Chilindrina.
I can't say all of that every time I'm saying something. So me and Becky were friends ever since we were in elementary school. This is how far back this friendship goes. I met Becky in 5th grade, and in 5th grade she automatically became like my best friend. She was so cool, and I used to go over her house all of the time for sleepovers. We hung out so much that it got to the point that our mothers literally became not necessarily friends, but acquaintances. So everything was perfect in elementary school. Like, she was literally my best friend. We did almost everything together. I can't do my makeup and tell you guys the story because I feel like I'm not 100% in the story. So I'm just gonna like tell you guys basically what happened. Okay. Becky was actually very beautiful. And once we hit 6th grade, she became popular. I was shy, así como me ven, like right now, like being crazy on YouTube videos and stuff. I didn't really talk to a lot of people. She was literally like one of the popular girls in our middle school. And I was like, you know, her lame best friend that kind of everybody knew by association, like, oh, that's Becky's friend. At the time, I didn't really see that Becky had changed in middle school. I definitely saw it after I left middle school because I was able to kind of like step back and look at everything that happened. I'm not really sure what happened, but Becky changed. It started in 6th grade. So one night I got dropped off to go to her house, and it was just me and her. I remember her bringing out a palette, and I remember her basically telling me like, here, you know, you should use this, try it. The colors are gonna be very beautiful on you. And I'm like, okay, like why not? We always play with makeup, so like what's today? What's different today, right? So I started using the palette, and I realized as I was putting it on my eyes that it smelled weird. I leaned in to like smell the palette and it smelled like urine, and Becky had a dog. So then, I told her, I was like, this smells weird, and she started laughing. And I mean, at the time, I did think that it was like a joke that just went too far. So I'm like, haha, like, we kind of like joked it off and moved on. The next day, I found out that Becky was literally telling all of her friends. So instead of the joke literally staying with us, by the way, I had a red eye. Becky decided to go and tell all of her friends how I got that pink eye, and they all thought it was hilarious. You never really want to be that stuck up person that can't even laugh at yourself. So I let it go. Another thing that rubbed me wrong about Becky is that she was into comparing each other a lot. It was almost like it was kind of like a competition to her. And I don't know if you guys remember this or you guys went through it, but during my middle school years, it was trendy on Facebook to basically put yourself and somebody else as verses. And like, like the comments were like, oh, I go for number 1, I go for number 2, I go for number 3, da 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 da. Becky was like very into that. And it was almost as she got pleasure from getting complimented by other people putting me down. I remember feeling very bad, but I also thought, oh, well, these are her friends. Obviously, they're gonna say that she's prettier. And on top of that, like, Becky was very good looking. So I just thought that the fact that, she was even like comparing ourselves on social media was kind of like weird and mean and honestly like unnecessary. So 6th grade was definitely when I felt like Becky changed. In 7th grade, a new guy came to the school and he was very good looking from what I remember, right? Like back in that day. And I remember developing a crush for this guy, and I will talk to Becky about it. So Becky knew that I had a crush on, let's call him Guy. I had a crush on Guy.
Hey, for the record, bruh was ugly. Just for the record.
Yeah, well now, but like back in the day, baby, that's what I said.
Your little 6th grade cross-eyed self could not tell.
In 8th grade, I ended up dating Guy. So at the time, I thought that he was, handsome. I had a crush on him for like a whole year and then, a little bit of 8th grade. Looking back at it now though, it's like he's not ugly. I kind of thought that he was not on my level during 8th grade. Like, I thought that I could never pull a guy like that in 8th grade. Like now looking back at it, I'm just like, anyways, I ended up dating Guy, and I remember I was so excited. I was so excited when he asked me out through his little notes and or whatever. I remember going to PE and I saw Becky on the way there, and I pulled her to the side and I'm like, oh my God, like you have no idea what just happened. She's like, what just happened? I'm like, Guy just asked me out, and I said yes, we're dating. And her face expression was literally like, she said absolutely nothing, and she just walked away and kind of just left me there in the middle of the hallway with a bunch of people passing like, what the just happened? She knew I had a crush on this guy, and like it finally like, came through. I thought she'd be like, oh my God, like, congratulations, like, yeah. But literally her face was like, eventually, she started talking to me again, but I realized that her friends were being a little more distant with me. I remember one of her friends was having a birthday party. And I remember my mom, for some reason that I can't remember now, my mom wouldn't let me go. And Becky's older sister literally came to my house, drove them to my house, her and the girl from the birthday party, the birthday girl. And they came and like, they talked to me. They were like, you should come on, come. It's gonna be so much fun. Come. And I was like, okay, let's go. It's gonna be lit. So all three of us literally convinced my mom. Like, I remember my mom was like, no, like, you can't go. We begged and we pleaded. And my mom ended up saying yes. We left. We went to the party. Literally 5 minutes later, her friends get there. They had already been like very like distant with me and everything. So when they were distant with me in the party, I didn't really think much of it. I was standing up, and I remember Guy was there. And I was standing up by a bush with Guy. I was, just chilling outside. Everybody was outside. It was an outside party. And one of the girls, let's name her Girl 1. Okay, so Girl 1 got up and she came up to me. And honestly, to this day, I keep thinking back and I'm like, what did I do to this girl for her to be so mad at me? I still can't come up with an answer to that. She hit me on the face, and I remember going at her hair. Y'all, I can't fight. So I went at her hair. I went to the best thing that I knew how to do, pull hair. So we literally went down. We went down. And then I also remember another girl being there, Girl 2, who, while I was on this girl's hair, this girl came and literally punched me in the face, and this girl was wearing a ring. She hit me on my eyebrow so bad that it literally like opened it a little bit. It swelled up. It was horrible, you guys. Girl 1's cousin, brother, I don't know. This guy was in high school. Why are you in some middle school little girl drama? I have no idea. But this guy was there, and I remember Guy was trying to pull us away from each other. And then Girl 1's cousin was like, you touch him again, and I'm gonna give you these hands. Well, that was it for Guy. Guy was like, I'm sorry, Haley, you are on your own because I don't want to get my ass beat. To be honest, you guys, like, I had a crush on Guy because he was cute. At the time I thought he was cute. After everything happened, I'm just like, you know what? Like, this guy is not really worth it. I'm like, I'm not in love with him. I don't really like, it's just attraction because I thought he was cute. But like, that was basically it. The birthday girl's mom let me use my phone. She basically broke things up. She let me use my phone. She was actually pretty upset that this all went down at her daughter's party. But to be honest, Miss Lady, I feel like your daughter was in on it. I called my mom. My mom came to pick me up. My mom was done and over with. Ooh, this story's gonna get way too long for that. Okay, after that happened, I didn't really go to school for like 2 to 3 days. And then I ended up going to school eventually. I remember developing some more beef with like another girl, but that's like a different story. So let me know if you guys want to hear about that. I don't know what it is. At one point, I know I'm getting like distracted, but like after I had another disagreement with another girl, at one point I'm just like, oh my god, like, is it me? Like, what am I doing wrong? It got so crazy that when I hit high school, I literally had 2 female friends and the rest were all guy friends. So I ended up breaking up with Guy. He cried for some odd reason, like, relax. I don't know. He cried. It was weird. Oh, but hold on. Okay. So I didn't break up with Guy till I met Alex. I ended up meeting Alex. So I was still with Guy, but at that point, I didn't really care for him. I feel bad about this. I remember telling another friend, I'm just like, I kind of just want to break up with him, but like, I don't know. Anyway, so I met Alex, and it was definitely one of like the best things ever. I ended up meeting up with Alex and like kissing Alex while I was still with Guy. No, I'm lying. I was already broken up with Guy, but I was flirting with Alex. So, technically like I cheated on Guy, technically, but that's like a middle school boyfriend. So that doesn't count. So I ended up breaking up with Guy because, at that point, I already had my little heart and my little eye set up on somebody else. So I moved. Everything happens for a reason. after I had so much beef in that school, my mom decided to move. And at that time, I already knew Alex. And I had nothing to do with it. My mom moved to Alex's district. So I was going to Alex's school. And that's how we like really got to know each other and this and that. It was very awesome. But like everything happened for a reason. And then later on, once I was with Alex, I was in high school. I remember like coming up on Becky's profile, and Becky was dating Guy. And I was just like, oh, but of course, that's the way you acted, you know. But I feel like she could have just told me, and like that would have been it. Like, to be honest, I wasn't even like really in love with the guy to be fighting over him. They ended up dating, and I was just like, oh, okay, you know. But whatever. Becky and Guy ended up going to a whole different high school that I was supposed to go to, but I went to Alex's high school. And then later on, Becky comes back into my life. I never confronted Becky about the whole setup thing or anything like that. You know, I just let it be. I moved. We lost contact. Later on in 9th grade, Becky came back into my life. Becky texted me and she was basically like, hey, how you doing? We haven't hung out in so long. I ended up moving near you. And I'm just like, what? That's so cool. Now, keep in mind, y'all, that me and Becky, we knew each other since 5th grade and we grew up, and 5th grade was bomb. So when she came back into my life, I decided to let bygones be bygones, because at the end of the day, Guy was just a guy. And I still wanted Becky in my life, and a part of me like was hoping that Becky had like grown out of that. So I ended up going to Becky's house. And I remember while I was there, I was just like, hi, how are you doing? Like, you know, how's life? What are you doing? And Becky was literally just like, yeah, it's been really nice. Yeah, like this and that, catching me up on some girls that I definitely don't want to fucking know about. So that was like, it was like a little awkward, weird encounter. I don't know who she was texting, but she was texting so much. I ended up telling her about Alex. I showed her who Alex was on Facebook. My number one mistake. And this girl ends up messaging Alex. I don't know about you guys, but I've never personally been in a man's messenger, DMs, whatever you guys want to call it, the way that she was in Alex's. Like, yeah, I'd go to a guy's DMs and be like, how serious are you about her? Like, what are your intentions? Like, don't come over here trying to make somebody fall in love with you if you're not 100% for real. That's how I come off. The way that she come off was not like that at all. At least not to me. I don't know if I already had, like, I don't know if you call it PTSD, and I didn't like it. Alex showed me and everything, and I'm just like, don't reply to her. We never really talked again. She never invited me over her house. We kind of just left it at that, and we let it be it. Later on, after Alex and I had made a YouTube, I think a year later, Alex saw Becky at the fair. We were making a video, and he saw Becky. I saw Becky's friends from middle school, and somehow it happened that while we were filming, somebody threw a lip gloss at us, at me. It hit me in the face and knocked my glasses off. And, I looked around, there was nobody around that I knew. And that was before I had seen Becky's friends or even know that Becky was there. So after that happened, I went to the fair bathroom. I came out, I saw Becky's friends, and I'm just like, of course, who else could it be? I mean, years later, I was in high school, out of high school, and you're still somehow hating on me, holding on to some beef that I have no idea what exactly caused it. Like, I have no idea why you're upset at me, Becky's friends. And then when we were leaving the fair, Alex told me I saw Becky in the fair, and I'm just like, so then that was the last time I saw her. So when Becky sent me these messages at 1 a.m, I was still awake. I have not replied to it. I'm not following her on my personal Instagram, so it did come in as a message request. So when I click on it, it doesn't tell her that I have read it, but yes, I've read it, and if you're watching this, you probably know I've read it. But she's basically saying like, hi, I miss you. You know, like, I've been wanting to text you and see how you doing, but I keep thinking it'd be weird because everything changed. We don't even talk anymore like we used to. We used to be so close friends, and I'm still not sure what happened to us. I don't know really what to do because I know that I was also like a dumb child. I did things that like now I wouldn't really approve of, you know, but I've grown up, and I also want to say that Becky has grown up. But at this point, I don't even really know what to do. Like, this was my childhood best friend, and a part of me wants to believe, is hoping that she did change. But then, like, another part of me is like, she can't really even take a little bit of responsibility for her own actions. And another thing is that Becky has a YouTube channel. Now, I'm not saying that I am famous on YouTube or like that I blew up, but it's kind of iffy to me that all of a sudden that Becky has a YouTube channel, she wants to like get in good with me and try to talk to me again and try to hang out with me again. But then again, I don't want to just be like, that's all she wants from me. Like, she could genuinely want to repair our friendship, but like, I truly don't know. So that's basically why I'm making this video. Like, I want your opinion and I want your advice. I have talked to my mom about it though, and my mom like told me, no, don't do it. That girl is not your friend. She doesn't like you. Like, just don't do it. Like, my mom is not for it at all. Like this video if you guys think I should address it with her in a very grown up way. Ask her what went wrong. I was supposed to do my makeup and rant, but apparently this story is very close to home. I couldn't even do my makeup. Tell me what to do because I have no idea. I don't know. If you are new to this channel,
Click on the next video.
subscribe. Subscribe.
Click on the next video.
Subscribe.